All a woman needs is but a mere twinkle in her eye, and warmth in her heart to radiate like a sun. And you, Marguerite, your smile conveys all that is necessary to glorify your prodigious beauty.
Mr. Tesla, you are certainly most interesting.
From across the room, Katharine watches with mixed emotions. Exterior Niagara Falls day. Tesla is moved to tears of joy as he looks out at the magnificent thundering colossus. Westinghouse steps up.
Come on, Nick. They're all waiting for you.
Westinghouse leads Tesla back to the waiting party of dignitaries and investors. Interior power station day. A long row of towering kettle-shaped engines. Tesla, Westinghouse, and the group admire the gargantuan turbines. The plant supervisor leads the party to a gauge, showing the amount of power being generated, 35,000 kilowatts.
35,000 kilowatts. And that's just for starters. I must say, Mr. Tesla, I envy you your royalty check. I reckon you'll outdo J.P. Morgan in no time.
Westinghouse is stunned into embarrassed silence. His aide glares at the supervisor, who realizes in horror that he has blown it. But Tesla is oblivious, distracted by a hallucination. It is his dead brother, Dane, at 12.
You did it, my brother.
Dane.
I'm proud of you. You're now ready to invent the new age. Focus on one great system, Niko. One great system.
Dane gestures toward the window, out at the falls. Tesla looks through it and sees. We cut to the interior of Tesla's mind, a fantasy of the future. An early 1900s retro version of the future in, say, 1930. A world of technological wonders. Exterior Niagara Falls day. Beside the Great Falls, a tower, glorious and weird, with a mushroom-shaped dome glowing blue with electricity. We pull back into outer space. As the planet Earth morphs into an illustration of similar towers of exaggerated height, all broadcasting electricity. As the retro illustration animates, our point of view becomes the shaded night side of the globe. Several thin lines of light cross the ocean, following the curvature of the Earth. Exterior Long Island, Atlantic Ocean night. An identical tower by the ocean. The top of the tower is an incandescent blue dome glowing fiercely. Out on the nearby Atlantic Ocean, a line of light in the sky, glowing fluorescent, about a mile wide and a mile high, illuminates a shipping lane. Out in the lighted shipping lane, a passenger ship. Exterior ship. It looks remarkably like the Titanic. The only difference, instead of the 4 smokestacks, 4 large antennas. At the tips, silver spheres glowing blue. Interior Titanic radio room. A bevy of equipment and an operator to make sure everything hums along nicely. It looks remarkably like a TV studio control room with various images on different screens. Exterior Titanic bridge. The captain, a gentlemanly white-bearded guy who looks a lot like the Titanic's Captain Smith. He talks to a TV screen with the captain of another ship.
Well, the icebergs are uncommonly southern today, Whitfield. Cheerio then. See you back in Southampton in a week or so.
Exterior Titanic deck, night, and light. Several passengers are out and about, dressed in retro sci-fi chic. A nice young couple are walking together when a cellular phone rings. The young man reaches down and picks up a retro-looking telephone receiver from a briefcase-sized device slung over his shoulder.
Yes, Mother, we'll be there in just a few hours. Yes, Mother, she's very excited.
The young lady smiles and hugs him as a businessman roars past. He, too, is on a cell phone. I don't care what time it is. Wake him up. We can't let this merger go to seed because of sheer neglect. A rebellious teenage girl sits on a deck chair and listens to a breadbox-sized transistor radio behind her, belting out a 1900s pop song. She bounces to the music. Exterior Titanic, Atlantic Ocean night, light. Up in the sky, a Zeppelin passes overhead. Zeppelin. The cabin is lit up and its antenna glows blue. Then we see an airplane. Another aircraft passes it, going straight up. A vertical takeoff and landing, double-seater airplane. Its antenna is visible and glows soft blue. The well-dressed couple are seated within, sitting side by side out on pleasurable evening drive. They fly over. We cut to the exterior of the New York City skyline night. Sci-fi space-age buildings and skyscrapers, reminiscent of Fritz Lang's Metropolis. It is a city of light, but with more antennas, zeppelins, and small planes in the air. Exterior Niagara Falls Power Station, back in 1898 day. Tesla gasps and snaps out of it, finding himself being introduced before a large crowd on hand for the inauguration ceremony. All are abuzz with excitement. An MC steps up.
the man responsible for this creation, the greatest electrician on Earth, Mr. Nikola Tesla!
The MC steps aside as Tesla walks up to a thunderous ovation. He's overwhelmed, stunned into humility, and finally the applause subsides.
I have scarcely had courage to address an audience on a few previous unavoidable occasions. Even now, as I speak, I experience certain sensations of abandonment. I can already see your disappointment on your countenances.
The crowd is bewildered.
And I can read your regret of this mistake.
The MC steps up and whispers in Tesla's ear. Tesla looks out into the audience, sees Dane nodding with approval.
Your one big idea, Niko. You know what it is.
Tesla turns back to the megaphone with renewed confidence.
Please forgive me. We are here to celebrate the dawn of a new era. We have stepped forward in the evolution of an energy-efficient world, but we must not be satisfied until we obtain energy without the needless waste of materials. Gentlemen, I promise to devise the answer, a means that will ultimately see the fulfillment of my fondest dreams, namely the transmission of electrical power from station to station without the employment of any connecting wire.
Westinghouse and his businessmen are unsettled by this. Reporters furiously scribble and low murmur surges from the crowd.
Think of it. Complete environmental efficiency, no pollution, and no waste of resources, trees, coal, copper, rubber.
George! You don't think he can do it?
Well, he never mentioned any of this to me.
My God, he wants to make the whole system obsolete before it's even built.
Don't worry about it, gentlemen. It's a dream he can't finance. Nobody would fund him.
Electrification, light, communication, all wireless. This is my solemn promise.
Crowd cheers as Tesla takes a flamboyant bow. Westinghouse and the businessmen get up to leave. They're all disgruntled.
You better be right, George.
Tesla leaves the stage as the crowd applauds. Camera pulls back. Niagara Falls in all its raging glory. Fade to black. Fade in and insert an AC electrical outlet. A hand reaches into frame and plugs in a cord attached to a Westinghouse vacuum cleaner circa 1940. Interior of the Hotel New Yorker, early 1940s. Hallway, day. The maid from the opening scene starts the vacuum running and proceeds to clean the hallways of the 33rd floor. Kenneth, now in his 40s, steps off the elevator. He heads towards Tesla's room and knocks on the door.
Who is it?
Mr. Tesla, you've forgotten about our movie date?
The ancient Tesla unlocks and opens the door. He is now 85, gaunt and pale, and without his mustache.
You didn't see that hotel clerk, the nasty little weasel?
No, sir. I have a feeling you won't need to worry about him this month.
A brief moment of mutual understanding passes between them. Tesla smiles gratefully.
Come in. I'm almost ready to go.
Interior Tesla's room, Hotel New Yorker, day. Ancient Tesla leads Kenneth into the room, chock-a-block but orderly, with bird cages and baskets containing the pigeons.
I have recently put forth a proposal to my esteemed hotel manager. I do believe he's open to the concept of collateral.
Tesla giggles mysteriously. An ornate wooden box lies on the floor near the bed. It is the very same box that contains the death ray Marconi radio. Tesla nudges it under the bed with his foot. Kenneth turns, surprised to see Tesla already has a guest. Mr. Fitzgerald, a bland but handsome young man, is standing at Tesla's roll-top desk. Tesla's notes and papers are spread out before him.
Oh, Mr. O'Neill, Mr. Fitzgerald, he was about to pack up and leave.
Yes, I was just... How'd you do? Pleased to meet you.
Mr. Fitzgerald's an engineer with the military, having some radiation problems with their weapons designs. Needs an expert's opinion. So where does he go?
Fitzgerald folds up some of Tesla's papers and technical drawings. It looks kind of like a death ray or something, and puts them in his briefcase. Kenneth is suspicious.
I've been lending Mr. Fitzgerald some of my plans. Why deal with the radiation when you can utilize particle beams? Mr. O'Neill's supposedly my biographer, but he can't wait for my life to complete so he can finally finish his writing. He'll have to wait a very long time, Mr. Fitzgerald. You know what? I'll outlive the both of you. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Shall we?
Kenneth eyes Fitzgerald warily. Fitzgerald meets his gaze with a poker face. Tesla is oblivious to this as he ushers everybody out and turns out the lights. New Yorker Hotel, exterior, front entrance, day. Kenneth flags down a taxi. Fitzgerald bids adieu and heads down the street. Kenneth and Tesla climb into the cab. Interior taxi, day. Kenneth and Tesla in the back seat.
Pantages Theater, please, driver.
Mr. Tesla, with all due respect, you're not showing him your particle beam weapon.
Don't worry, it's just some of my notes, my drawings. I've deliberately kept a few crucial elements out. I'm not going to solve every problem for him.
Sir, I mean, you won't even show it to me.
He works for the military. Perhaps they'll finally listen to me. They could end this war.
Lightning strikes somewhere. Tesla sees something out of the window.
There!
What?
Pearl Street Station, Edison Station, it was right there!
Kenneth looks out. It's only a parkade, but Tesla's memory has been set in motion. Exterior, Edison's Pearl Street Station, 1898 day. Shut down, boarded up, a for sale sign on the door. Tesla smiles smugly as he rides by, his wagon loaded with all his worldly possessions.
Niagara Falls was a resounding success. My alternating currents had won the day. My salad days had surely begun.
Everybody on the street tips their hat or turns to watch as Mr. Tesla rides by.
And New York City was laid before me. I tell you, it was a banquet. Its millionaires were at my beck and call, all clamoring for the secret treasures for plenty if I parade.
Interior Players Club night. Stanford White watches as Tesla plays pool with 30-year-old millionaire J.J. Astor. Astor shoots and misses, but leaves Tesla with a difficult shot. Tesla steps up to the table. No problem. Zam, bam, he sinks the ball.
And who richer than John Jacob Astor, an impassive sort of fellow, but I tell you, he liked me.
Tesla, you sly fox, what bill of goods have you pawned upon this poor rube?
Ah, Mr. White, Mr. Astor has chosen to exploit my cold lamps and oscillators, two little inventions that will bring him untold millions.
Untold. There's the rub.
The men laugh and Tesla sinks the 8-ball. Game. Exterior Waldorf Astoria Hotel, day. Establishing the entrance of the magnificent hotel.
I henceforth moved into Astor's little shanty. Perhaps you've heard of it, the Waldorf Astoria. I have a special rate, of course.
Interior Waldorf Astoria Hotel, Tesla's suite, day. A well-appointed, luxurious suite. A series of shots. Tesla bathes, meticulously grooms himself for an evening out.
My dear Luca, tonight we shall be attending the world premiere of Dvorak's New World Symphony.
Exterior Carnegie Hall night. Tesla, dressed to the nines in top hat and tails, escorts Marguerite Merrington and his guests, the Johnsons, the Twains, Sanford White, and his mistress into the hall.
I've secured the best seats available, no better than the 15th row. Very sorry, we shall have to use telescopes. Perhaps the better for Mrs. Filipov's vivid imagination. I have also invited the enchanting Miss Merrington. I warn you, she is apt to come in a scarlet decolleté, but she is a great artist and must be permitted the latitude.
Katharine jealously eyes Marguerite and Tesla. Interior Carnegie Hall. Anton Dvorak conducts his famous New World Symphony. Down the row as Marguerite, moved by the music, draws close to Tesla. Katharine is puzzled that Tesla does not recoil. Marguerite closes her eyes in ecstasy, leans her head on Tesla's shoulder. But Tesla is uncomfortable with her hair in his face. Strands get in his eyes. He tries nonchalantly to blow them away. Finally, he brushes her hair away. Marguerite interprets this as a tender, responsive touch and smiles contentedly. Catherine's jealousy is now more than a mere twinge. Robert senses her emotional state and glances down the road. Exterior New York Street, night. Alongside Central Park, a handsome cab carries a daydreaming Tesla and a rhapsodizing Marguerite.
And believe it or not, it was Mr. Dvorak himself who reviewed my libretto for Daphne. The National Conservatory awarded me a $500 prize. And would you believe the entire lot was gone within a week? I celebrated and spent, Mr. Tesla. I celebrated and spent.
Marguerite senses Tesla is distracted and changes tack.
Driver, turn here, please.
Central Park entrance night. The driver obeys, steers the horse into Central Park.
Miss Merrington, I thought you wanted to go home.
Oh, please indulge me, Mr. Tesla. It's such a lovely evening. Surely a short detour through the park wouldn't put you out?
Oh, certainly not, Miss Merrington. Capital idea.
Oh, come on, Nikola. We're well past formalities. It's Marguerite.
Yes, Miss Merrington.
Oh, you're incorrigible.
Tesla and Marguerite ride through Central Park. It is a beautiful moonlit night and puts Marguerite in a romantic mood.
Driver, stop here.
Why?
Why, I have to show you something.
Marguerite takes Tesla's gloved hand in hers and hops out of the cab.
Okay. Okay, driver, wait for us here.
But Marguerite is late.
No. This from a man that never sleeps?
Oh, this is foolish.
Oh, don't argue. Just come.
Marguerite drags Tesla down the path and into the woods. Marguerite and Tesla emerge from the trees to a large pond, smooth as glass and reflecting the moonlight.
This?
Oh, surely as one who appreciates nature and beauty as much as you can see a certain poetic value in this.
Tesla finally clues in and knows what's expected of him.
Yes, of course. It's truly a charming spot. Shall we sit?
There is a bench. They sit. Tesla doesn't quite know how to go about his next move. He awkwardly drapes his arm around her shoulder.
No. I hope you don't feel too obliged.
Tesla suddenly kisses her and takes her by surprise. It's awkward, closed-mouthed. But Marguerite knows what she's dealing with and takes control, relaxes, and guides him into a slow, sensual mode. Tesla succumbs, and he does everything right until he jerks back scared. Marguerite pulls him back and goes at him passionately, but he can't get past the mere biological curiosity. We now go into Tesla's mind. Animation. And in Tesla's mind, we see the human nervous system at play. Lumps of wet flesh commingling, nerve endings in their lips energizing, sending the signals to their brains, various offshoots going into an assortment of brain areas. Portals are open and shut like a binary code. Tesla breaks away from her. Marguerite is stunned.
I wasn't meant for this.
What? And what were you meant for?
I'm meant to bring my scientific pursuits to their utmost.
For who?
For everybody. For mankind.
Oh, mankind. Nothing less?
I know it's rather ambitious.
No, it's noble. You are Prometheus.
It's not for nobility I do this. I did not ask for my intellect. It is but a mere accident of nature. I'm merely another step in the evolution of the human machine, nothing more.
I would hope not, Mr. Tesla. I'd be saddened to see humanity become so unfeeling.
Miss Marguerite, please understand, if it was my lot to mate, I would most sincerely choose you. For you are the most beautiful and invigorating creature I have ever encountered.
Spare me, please.
Oh, no, it is true, but Marguerite, I regret that I am too single-minded. I've more offenses at my back than I have thoughts to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in.
Mr. Tesla, if you're going to identify with a Shakespearean hero, perhaps Hamlet is the wrong one.
Who then, Romeo? I'm sorry, Marguerite. Yeah. It's not me. I must leave now. The driver awaits you there. Goodbye, Miss Merrington.
Goodbye, Mr. Tesla.
Tesla turns and walks towards the distant city lights. Disappointed and sad, Marguerite watches him leave. Interior Tesla's lab, night. Tesla stands naked on his electric bath. a resonating steel plate on the floor, an electrical field ring above. His body is surrounded in a soft, sizzling electricity, billions of tiny blue hair-like streamers. Tesla turns a knob on a nearby panel and gasps. It's become sexual. He moans as he gets more excited. His body becomes rigid and ecstatic as he climaxes. Pigeons in the rafters watch benignly. Tesla's Houston Street Lab rooftop day. Tesla and his assistants erect a high antenna. They pause to admire their handiwork and take in the view. The Hudson River beyond the avenues of the buildings. Interior boat day. Tesla and Cito have set up the receiver apparatus in the back of the boat. It hums a single 60-cycle frequency. Leaving the city behind them, the boat leisurely makes its way up the river. Exterior Edison home, porch day. Edison gently rocks on a porch swing as he is interviewed by an off-screen reporter.
Mr. Edison, would you say that Mr. Tesla is the ultimate victor in the war of the currents?
War? I was not aware of any war. He has his product. I have mine. Both have their uses and both have their place in the world, but to insist there must be victors and losers is patently false. As you can see, I'm not hurting. I have many irons in the fire.
Do you believe with Tesla that we should